Jennifer Tenza, Jenniferattenza, Public Information Officer for the Oceanside Police Department.
And if I could have you tell us where we are and what occurred this evening.
We are just outside of MLK Park. At approximately 5 o'clock this evening, the Oceanside Police Department received a call of a reported stabbing victim in the area surrounding the park. Officers responded and located one victim that had suffered a stab wound. That victim was transported to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. Investigators from our crimes of violence unit have started working an investigation and are actively working the investigation into suspects involved in this case.
And the victim was airlifted, or were they transported by ground?
They were initially ground transported and then airlifted.
And any information as to how this was prompted? And the park was obviously open, so do you have a number of witnesses that saw this happen?
Any witnesses are currently being interviewed by investigators. Suspect descriptions are not available at this time, but as information becomes available, we will provide it.
What brought PD to this location? I understand the victim may have been located at a separate location. Was there evidence that you could elaborate on that was located here that prompted this crime scene to be set up?
Yes, so the initial call was a report of a victim in the area of Mesa and Cinnamon, if I remember correctly, was the initial response location. It sounds like what may have occurred is the crime occurred at a different location and the victim had moved away from where it initially occurred, and that's where he was located.
Okay, and I asked about this earlier. I don't know if there's been an update in regards to this, but the vehicle that was found on Mesa just west of Rancho Del Oro, do you have any information as to whether or not that's connected to this location?
I don't at this time, no.
The school, obviously we're pretty close to MLK Middle School here. Was that placed on lockdown? Any sort of security procedure put into place at the school?
No, absolutely not. This occurred just after 5 o'clock today, so after all of regular school programming was concluded.
And do you have any information as to what the park atmosphere was like at the time? Whether there was, there was a football game here earlier, but that may have started after the scene was set up. Do you know what was going on at the time of the stabbing?
At the time, I don't know how many different activities were occurring at the park. I know the park does regularly have different sports leagues that use the fields for practices, but I don't know what was active at the moment that this occurred now.
And if you could tell us where we stand right now in terms of the investigation. Obviously you guys are still out here. It's several hours after the initial call. What are you guys looking to accomplish at this time?
So right now we have crimes of violence detectives that are actively working any leads in the case. We have our field evidence technicians that are out processing the crime scene, and then we are also with our patient at the hospital checking in on his status and condition.
Okay, and anything you'd like to add?
No, just if anybody has any information, please give us a call. Call the Oceanside Police Department immediately. You can call our non-emergency line. You can dial 911 if it is an emergency. But please call the non-emergency line if you have any information to provide to our detectives.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
For over 25 years, we've represented thousands of people involved in car and motorcycle accidents, and we've recovered millions. We hope you never need us, but if you do, remember the number. It's easy. 619-333-3333. God bless.